What is going on, everyone? My name's Boyd and I'm back with some more Age of Mythology. The Titans action spawning in the top of the map in the red color, playing as Gaia. His name is NyanRacingCat. His opponent today in the blue color, playing as Odin. His name is OdinKing the 12th. The map is Archipelago. And this is a best of 3 from the Challengers League. I think it's the Challengers League. Yes, the Challengers League. Very, very interesting. One of the first maps where the players have decided to pick a strange map or a non-standard map is probably more accurate here. So part of the rules are, if you want to pick a non-standard map, you have to let your opponents know what map you're picking in advance so they can prepare for it. So every single time you see a non-standard map, you have to remember that the players were prepared for it. The advantage comes in the blind pick mode. So if you say pick a funny map and you want to pick like an interesting god and an interesting strategy, your opponent just can't copy you. For example, say you come up with a strategy like you want to play River Styx, and you want to go for a Zeus Underworld Hoplite Rush or something like that. Your opponent's not going to know that's coming and not going to just instantly go, okay, well, I see he's going Zeus, so I'm going to go Hades or something like that. That's a thing. So it's very, very cool that everyone can come up with it and play their own little strategies here. We do see the dock going up, some pretty weird fishing spots here for NyanRacingCat. There's a lot of fish on this map. And we'll see how much the water matters here. A big option that Gaia has, a bit of a cheese here, that Gaia has is spreading out her Gaia Lush throughout the entire island, which means that it's impossible for OdinKing to land or not to land, but to put buildings on and side build. So they have to do a lot of landing from transport ships, which is very, very slow and difficult to do. We'll see if it happens or not. From NyanRacingCat. And funnily enough, I say that it is supremacy, so you can go for wonders here. And wonders in 1v1s, they don't get seen very often, but on a map like this, we could see that. And now the question you have to ask yourself is going to be, how does OdinKing approach this? Norse has a big advantage on water in the late game by going for Jormungand Elvers, because they can move around the water here, and they are the strongest water myth unit in the game. But I think that NyanRacingCat has access to some water myth units that counter water myth units, so he may be totally fine. I can't remember which one they see. Which one they called, but we'll see what they are and how they go here. A lot of villagers on food already, still spamming out the fishing ships. Looking like it's probably going to be a 4:30 here from NyanRacingCat. OdinKing, on the other hand, late temple here means probably going to be more like a 5-minute advance time or something like that. Still trying to pump out those fishing ships. The fish, generally speaking, I don't think it spawns on these sides very much. You want to get the top corner fish. You can see that where it's spawning up here, and they would have known about that. And we are seeing that. Looks like OdinKing was unaware and he kind of went to the bottom corner of the map instead. There's still some fish down there, it's just not as good. And looks like I was wrong, shark. Guy doesn't get Hyperion, which has the shark myth unit. There's Pandora's box down the bottom corner here. It's going to be some myth unit training time. Probably not going to see that one grabbed. And we do have a relic. Look at this relic. Look at it. Just chilling here. It needs to be uncovered. See what I did? Oh, that's silly. That's very silly. But a Black Lotus there, that's a really good relic, especially for the late game when you want to transition away from that fish eco, especially when it's so far away from your docks. We see another dock coming up for NyanRacingCat, who's spamming those fishing ships out. We are seeing Leto here for NyanRacingCat, so not going for Oceanus, not getting those servants. So we may be thinking about potentially, like, this could be a behemoth rush here. Wouldn't be a bad idea. Race for a fast heroic here through Rhea. Go for Leto, and then you can cast some spider eggs down and do some shenanigans there. But you do have to get a second town center to make those behemoth rushes any good. So we'll see where he goes. A lot of villages on wood, so it's looking like Bareems are going to be the option here for NyanRacingCat. No sneaky shenanigans, no super fast attacks or anything like that. I like this oracle positioning here for NyanRacingCat. It's basically like having a lighthouse here, so you can spot if any drops or any transport ships come forward. Surprised to see that OdinKing didn't go for potentially like an early transport ship, getting a temple over here, going for a Heimdall rush. Could be brutal here, to be honest. Because of how big the map is, it kind of plays a little bit like Midgard, so those land rushes can be really, really potent. But not happening just yet. And we do see the Bareems coming in to harass some of OdinKing's fishing ships here as they are streaming in from the opposite side of the map. Pretty funny here, playing out how similarly Midgard plays out. Actually, funnily enough, that we're talking about wonders and options here for these players. I think Norse might actually have like a pretty cheeky fast wonder here through Ragnarok as an option. You don't even have to kill your opponent. You just go fast Ragnarok and you have to get 50 favor somehow, which is a thing. But if you get out early couple of Hersa, by the time you get Mythic Age, you will have 50 favor. Because they gather what? What is the favor gather rate? I always forget. Doesn't want to tell me. Oh, 0.01 favor a second. So if you have one Hersa, you get 1 favor every minute and a half. Is that right? I think that's right. I don't know. Someone can tell me how bad my math is. I'm not going to tell you how I worked it out, but that's the thing. Now, NyanRacingCat moving in. And OdinKing moving out. You see the Raven coming over, spotting the base and the Gaia town center being incredibly inaccurate there. I'm surprised this Raven survived flying directly over that with 6 HP remaining. That's got to be some unlucky RNG there. And NyanRacingCat pushing back in. He's got quite a few Bareem here. There's actually an equal amount of longboats, so OdinKing can actually fight this one. Nice micro from OdinKing to pull NyanRacingCat in now. And the Bareem on the top of the map as well, but OdinKing's winning this fight as well. This longboat is somehow on the shore, on the beach of this archipelago. And now NyanRacingCat retreating. Totally fine here. Well, this map won't have those sneaky commands, will it? Feels bad. Anyways, this is kind of the vibe. Wouldn't be surprised to see some town centers going up relatively soon as well. Forest Fire does come down onto this here wood line, and it's close enough to take the mana down, but will it kill the mana is the question, because the trees will fall and then the damage will stop happening. It's going to be very, very close, to be honest. And he doesn't manage to get it there. 200 HP remaining, and then the house will regenerate over time because of the Gaia special abilities. Bareem's coming on the bottom side of the map. The longboats do spot it though. They're going to be trying to pick off some fishing ships. The fishing ships getting pulled back into the dock. Nice job there from OdinKing to pull those ones in. Longboats retreating back as well. And these longboats going to get picked off. The settlement and going up. Both town centers here for OdinKing in a range of water, and the same for NyanRacingCat. So whoever wins the water in the late game, or has the water advantage in the late game, will be able to siege down those town centers and get quite a significant advantage. For some reason, OdinKing running away from these Bareem here, as NyanRacingCat just doesn't even care about fighting them. He just wants to go for those fishing ships, which is really, really smart. And then he can just retreat here and be totally fine. Now, Bareem's retreating. Nice job there. Getting those snipes. We'll be losing this group of Bareems will be really, really bad. NyanRacingCat not paying attention to this one. This is going to be huge for OdinKing. But OdinKing still running away with his really slow longboats over here. What are they? 5.5 speed to the 7.25 speed. It's like not even close how fast these Bareem are compared to the longboats. And now the Bareem of NyanRacingCat now trying to hit these longboats as well, who they're doing a decent job, but he's retreating. I think OdinKing does not appreciate how much more damage his longboats do than the Bareems here. They got more HP, so having 7 longboats does mean you will win this fight. I think you win this fight if you micro well. It's looking like it's not microing the best here. You make sure you're focus firing the ships very, very good. And the Bareem now coming in, and now they're leaving. And I love how active NyanRacingCat is being with his Bareem, just like kind of abusing the speed advantage he has, which is part of why I picked this map, I guess. I think this was a NyanRacingCat home map here. And we do see OdinKing has got his town center up, and the town center is going up now for NyanRacingCat. Another reason why potentially going Oceanus here would have been a little bit more interesting. You could have cast the plant down, the Carnivora, to prevent the town center from going up as an option. There is a Hersa here, but if you get a couple of Mamilla over there as well as the Carnivora, can prevent a lot of shenanigans. Another dock now coming up for OdinKing, who's still trying to hold on to this water. He's doing a good job so far. Hasn't lost it, which is very, very good for him. NyanRacingCat going for a double town center here. And OdinKing picks off some lions, but he should be thinking about his own 3rd town center and a potential heroic age. He can't go, actually. This would be a really interesting Njord map, actually. I'm surprised this wasn't thought about a little bit more. Like, OdinKing could have gone fast heroic through Njord here. Heimdall Walking Woods with a transport ship, sneak a temple onto the opponent's base would have been very key, because the longboats, they can garrison units, they can carry the units across the shore, which is a big advantage for Norse over the other civilizations who have to build a transport ship. But not happening just yet. Still spamming those villages out. Going to start building some farms. I like this 27 villages on the on this ox guard here. Pretty sure you can garrison anything in the longboats. They have 5 spots. 5 spots. It could be only infantry, but I don't know. I don't know. A couple of houses going up, a couple of idle units for OdinKing. He's kind of struggling to keep up with this onslaught here, but he's actually having to retreat yet again. How's the resource situation going? He's got a lot of wood in the bank. I would really like to see, well, some longhouses are going down. I'd really like to see a 3rd town center for OdinKing or a heroic age here. It's just a little bit too delayed. Whereas Nyan sneaks some military buildings onto OdinKing's base here. He's got the transport ship is out, and OdinKing's not spotted this. He does not spot this at all. And he's going to be able to prevent this town center from being grabbed by the Gaia Lush, and could potentially grab it for himself anyway. And now NyanRacingCat can kind of just stop building Bareem and just go for a full steamroll over here, straight through this, especially if you can get to the heroic edge through Rhea, and go for Behemoth. Delete the home temple, build another temple over here, get that free Behemoth going, and just slam through that OdinKing home base. But not happening just yet. Settlement getting stolen. OdinKing not paying attention at all to that location. There's an idle Valkyrie over here, as well as the Mamilla are going to be pretty happy to be here. He's going to reveal himself, though. It's looking like moving the Mamilla out a little bit early. Would have liked to see him maybe heroize the citizen as well to get the town center up a little bit faster and wait on the reveal that he's on OdinKing's island, because that's going to prompt OdinKing to start defending a little bit here. But we'll see what he does. If he starts building some units, no reaction just yet. There he goes on something. We're just building dwarves. Mamilla still going, an armory going up. Bareem's now sacrificing themselves kind of in front of this dock here, but not spreading the fishing ships out, so he's only got one dock shooting, so that means that Nyan's going to be able to win this water fight as well. And now the automaton coming through as well, and these Mermillo have got their medium upgrades. NyanRacingCat with a lot of resources in the bank, I should say. It's not well done though. If he had like 5 villagers on wood right now and another 5 on food, he could have been heroic age here. You do see a cheeky little spider lair getting thrown down right here as a little trap, and making the raids happen onto this gold mine is very key. And now more units flooding in for NyanRacingCat. His town center is almost up for him. Going to be able to hit this house and then maybe push off these farms as well. OdinKing on the other hand, really struggling. He's going through Njord though. Has the Raven already over here, but no temple to speak of at all, and no transport ship to pull the mountain giant over to the base of NyanRacingCat. But remember, the Walking Woods, they're basically like a portable ram in terms of how good they are against buildings. So they can tear down an Atlantean town center very, very fast. And on top of that, he's going to get those Kraken out as well to maybe get some more land control back. There's the mountain giant. We see an instant Walking Woods. There's the Walking Woods. You can see they have 7 hack attack and 18 crush damage. They do so much damage against those town centers, making a move over there now and trying to defend against this one here. NyanRacingCat. He's on his way through Thea here, so trying to just abuse the Stymphalian birds, abuse the flying units here. And you can see this town center just falls so fast, but the units are just flooding in, picking off the Norse economy here. A couple of those hero Mermillos going after the mountain giant, but he's just got so much HP, does so much damage to these Mermillos and tanks for so long. And he's going to have to retreat though. There's the Hesperid's tree going down over here. I like that choice because then the Hesperid's tree can pick off these walking palms or something like that. But the Stymphalian birds, look at this damage they do. Just absolutely shred through the walking palms here as well. So we will see this town center get defended, and surely NyanRacingCat gets his town center up here back as well. More military barracks coming in. Again, I think I don't know. I would have preferred to see Rhea here, but it is what it is. This town center is getting awfully close to falling, as I'm pretty surprised at how efficient these walking pines have been, and no repairing of this town center. 96 HP, 90 HP, 50 HP, 0 HP. It actually gets 2 town center kills with the Walking Woods here. That's absolutely huge for OdinKing. Now sitting 2 town centers apiece, but he's going to have to be dealing with those Stymphalian birds fairly soon. And we have the mountain giants now coming in to clear this out, as well as the throwing axeman coming over. There is a hero Mermillo here, but the throwing axeman going to insta-kill this hero Mermillo. Well, maybe insta-kill it if they actually decide to target it. And he's going down very, very fast. They do get a bonus. They do get that bonus damage against the hero infantry there. And 3 mountain giants just swinging their batons onto the temples on the military buildings. There is a Stymphalian bird here about to pop out, and there's no axe of Muspel for throwing axemen, the bonus damage against myth units. And now the mountain giants coming over to destroy this town center as well. Very low HP mountain giant here, but Nyan not able to quite defend that one. But the thing is, even if OdinKing pushes Nyan off this base here, he still has to get this town center back, regroup his economy a little bit, and he's also just sort of playing from behind just a little bit here, but we'll see what happens. We do see the throwing axeman going to try and take this Stymphalian bird out, but still no axe of Muspel is it coming in. No, not just yet. Does manage to pick it off, and he still has to pick off all of these other temples and everything else, and then wait for the Gaia Lush to be removed. And both the town centers are back up now for NyanRacingCat, back to the 3 town centers. And it's looking like this push here has been thwarted. However, the transport shenanigans going on, bringing in the Dryads, pushing these villagers back off of that wood line there, moving over into the back wood line while this is all getting cleaned up. And I think OdinKing not going to keep searching he has noticed it. He does know there's a military barracks there, so he can pick that one off. Now he just has to wait for the Gaia Lush to expire, which it has expired, and he's going to get that town center up. No problems. These Stymphalian birds dealing some nice damage over here, but the town center will be able to pick them off. We'll see how he goes here. And looking like some dragon ships coming out now for OdinKing as well. Where's Nyan's next option? He's moving in with the military barracks over here as well. And he's going through Atlas. Why Atlas? Okay. Not sure about the Atlas. Would have preferred to potentially see Hecate here. Getting Argus out, maybe to deal with potential fire giants. Or, not fire giants. Yes, fire giants. Or even the mountain giants, I guess, because the mountain giant raids will happen. He's getting a transport ship here, and the Argus will be able to deal with that, the free Argus that comes out. So I guess very smart in terms of dealing with those mountain giants there. So fair enough. Still trying to put these military buildings down. These throwing axemen are getting baited into the spiders there. There's still one left. Oh no, they're both gone. Antares now coming out. There's the Atlas transport ship moving around, looking to, you could drop it in and just pick off these military buildings. But he's going to go for the town center instead. Implode coming down into this location now, going to pull in some of those dwarves and everything else. Pretty sure these units get sucked out of the town center. You can't garrison away from an implode like you can garrison away from a lightning storm. And all these units will get sucked out, I think. Not quite all of them, but a lot of them. And he picks off, he doesn't actually pick off any buildings, but he's just picked off so many throwing axemen there, while OdinKing's back to 94 population and NyanRacingCat's going to get 145. He just needs to get in here with some buildings, get those palaces up, and just control this location. And the Contari has to deal with throwing axemen. It's an interesting decision. They have high hack armor, but they don't do a lot of, I mean, like, Contari's not a bad unit against them, I guess. They don't have any bonus damage or anything, but they kind of both soft counter each other in a way. Now Nyan still trying to get into this location. He could just, again, he could just come in over here and sneak another side building and get a palace up on that spot there. Wouldn't be a bad idea. Market now coming up for OdinKing. He's got the favor to go for this wonder. Definitely go for it with a Ragnarok. Balder, wonder, spam everything. You put it right in the middle of the base so that the dragon ships and I can't remember what they're called, not dragon ships, the siege ships. You see the Stymphalian bird able to pick off transport ships as well. Antares raids now onto this gold mine. And you see a sneaky palace exactly where he put the military barracks first. I love it. I love it. We'll see what Nyan actually can go for his own wonder as well here. But I guess you have to be worried about if OdinKing makes like 3 transport ships and then rags getting just wiped out on your home base here. So we'll see what happens. Do we have any sort of mythic age for OdinKing? Not just yet. Just trying to get there. It's only 12 villages on food though. It's very far behind on that food count. And we do see the throwing axemen coming back over onto this location. He must have some inkling that this is happening here. Hill Fort coming up. And he does see the military barracks going up over here. Throwing axemen do have the Axe of Muspelheim. You can see how much damage they do to the Stymphalian bird as it just immediately gets picked off. Those spider eggs not going to go down fast enough as the units are streaming in now. The Dryads are a really nice counter to these throwing axemen. So we'll be able to push through that as well. We're seeing Fanatics coming out. Would like to see maybe Fire Siphon here. Just to push through this town center as well. NyanRacingCat is just strangling OdinKing currently. And there's the Fire Siphon coming out now for NyanRacingCat. And he's pushing through the hill fort, trying to break it down. OdinKing he's actually holding on quite nicely, to be honest. Not able to pick off these units though. He needs to get some Jarl out or heroes or Hersa. or something like that. I'm surprised to see he hasn't built like a Kraken and going for some raids or something, because it's a really difficult unit for NyanRacingCat to pick off. Or has he? Well, there they are. I speak of the devil. You can pick them off pretty easy actually with the Stimvalian birds. If you combine them with a longbird or two, you can pick off the Stimvalian birds nice and quick. Fire Siphon now coming through. We start picking off the town center. The villagers get pulled off the line here of the gold. They do a lot of damage to these siege weapons. You have to pick them off very fast, otherwise the siege dies. And there's the Kraken's trying to steal the Hesperid's tree, but not able to. They're actually able to take down the palace though, which is kind of funny. Close enough to hit them. And the Fire Siphon's just still alive, still putting the pressure on. Are we seeing something from OdinKing? No, just struggling to stay alive, still building these units. There's a bunch of Ulfsark in the town center for some reason. I'm gonna pop them out at some point, maybe? No. Let's just see the Fire Siphon hats got picked off, and OdinKing at this moment does decide the game is lost. GG. Well played by NyanRacingCat. Now this map is super interesting here. I guess in the moment you have to be like, as OdinKing, you have to be like, what can I do potentially on Archipelago? What could my opponent pick? Now, NyanRacingCat is an Atlantean player, so the way that I would have gone through this when I see Nyan picking this is like, probably going to pick Kronos. I would assume like a Kronos here would be a pretty good pick. And then I would prepare for a Kronos. And then when you see Gaia, you have to instantly change your thought process and be like, okay, how do I beat Gaia? What can Gaia do to me that Kronos can't? And then be like, okay, so the semi-fast heroic with the Walking Woods, it was a great play. It was a great play picking off the two town centers. But how do you follow that up? You gotta go there and prevent those town centers from going back up somehow. If you could have got units onto the enemy base, that would have been absolutely huge, because most of where Nyan was in that moment was here. So if he just goes, okay, you have that portion here, I'm going to take this portion and this portion, and then just win the game straight there, instead of kind of just trying to claim back this location on this island here. But that was a really nice play from NyanRacingCat, really active for the entire game. Super well played. We'll move on to game number 2 very shortly. Thank you all for watching, and we'll get it going soon.